The Dream Stream is a 3-mile stretch of river that runs from Spiny Mountain Reservoir down to 11-mile Reservoir. Kokanee, a freshwater sockeye salmon that is landlocked, which means cannot run to the ocean, live in 11-mile Reservoir. Come fall, around October, the kokanee will run up the Dream Stream to spawn. When they run up the river to spawn, they quit eating. That's right, they quit feeding. So fishing for them can be a challenge. But there are a few ways to be successful fly fishing for the sockeye salmon as they're running up the river. As you can see, the fish, as they run up the river, turn a vibrant red color with dark green heads. They are also very territorial. So using something like a bright red fly, such as a San Juan worm, can often initiate instinctive strikes. They see the red of your fly and instinctively strike at it. This is a popular fly on the river. Another popular fly are small orange egg patterns. Again, this is likely a survival of the fittest instinct where they try to destroy eggs from other females. So they will just try to grab that egg as it's rolling down the bottom of the river to destroy it. And it's as simple as that. So let's go into our setup. Let's look at how to fish these flies, and let's get a closer look at these flies. And let's catch some fish. There are two main parking lots for the Dream Stream. One at the lower section and one at the upper section. They are both free parking, so you don't have to worry about that. So you can get all set up and hike on in. It's about a quarter of a mile, maybe a third of a mile hike to hike straight in to the stream itself. In regards to what is better for the sockeye salmon, personally, I think the upper stretches are better for much of the season. And the reason is, remember, these fish are running up the river to spawn. So they run up the river, and I think they hold in higher quantities the upper part of the river. In regards to equipment, you see me wearing waders, but I find I'm not in the water 98% of the time, so they really are not needed. A good fly rod, 5-weight, 6-weight, 7-weight, is fine. You want a floating line and about a 6-foot, 8-foot tippet. As far as tippet weight, I often use around a 4-pound tippet. There's nothing wrong with going a little bit heavier, maybe a 5-pound or a 6-pound. The only issue with that is the fly is not going to roll around the bottom as freely, but they do get very large fish in here, so going heavier allow you to get the fish in quicker. Generally, I like to use a strike indicator above my fly. Now, it'll depend on the spot I'm fishing. Might be 4 feet above my fly. Could be much as 6 feet, 7 feet above my fly, depending on the depth of the hole. The fish do like nice little rocky areas. They like to spawn behind them. And I like to use a little bit of a split shot. The key is with these flies, especially the egg pattern, is to get them to roll on the bottom. You want them to roll naturally on the bottom so it looks 100% natural when presented to the fish themselves. What you'll want to do is you'll want to cast upstream slightly, maybe at a 45-degree angle or so, and this allows the fly to sink, start rolling around the bottom, down to you. Make sure your fly has a dead drift. You don't want any drag on your fly at all. You want it to flow naturally, just like it's flowing down the river naturally. Uh, some spots you can get away without a split shot, but in a lot of the spots, a very small split shot will help get your fly down early, give you a longer drag-free presentation to the fish. Now this is a San Juan worm. These are readily available in most fly shops. This just happens to be on a size 12 hook. If you tie flies, this is one of the easiest flies to tie and produce well in the river. This is probably my favorite to use in the stream. This is just a little soft egg fly. You buy this material in a little string and you cut each egg off and just thread it on a hook. This is 6 millimeter. Very easy to use, and I like to use a heavy hook. That way it sinks quicker. When fishing for the sockeye, look for little patches of red underneath the surface. Maybe moving slightly. Here you can see I'm fighting one, but you can see what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a little bit of red patch near the bottom. That's where the fish will hang out. And I'll cast upstream from them and let that fly sink, get down to their level, make sure there's no drag on the fly, and just rolling across the bottom as it approaches the fish. The fish will grab it. They won't necessarily take off with it, but you'll see the strike indicator stop, get drugged behind. It's time to set the hook. Remember, hook sets are free, so give it a try and see if you've got one or it just stopped on the bottom. If you look closely on this one, you'll see my egg right at the tip of the beak of this big male. I hope these tips help you out to catch some of these great sockeye salmon that run up the dream stream. Get out there, do a little fishing, and if you happen to see me out there, say hi, and tight lines to you.